So follow my train of thinking here. We've just recently had the first trailer for the MCU's new Fantastic Four First Steps, and that got me thinking about the original live-action Fantastic Four film from 1994 that was ultimately scrapped and left unreleased. Although apparently there's some bootleg copies doing the rounds online. And from there, I couldn't help but think of a recently scrapped and unreleased comic book movie from DC. I'm referring to 2022's Batgirl. The film starred Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. J.K. Simmons would reprise his role as Commissioner James Gordon from Justice League. Brendan Fraser was to play main bad guy Ted Carson, aka Firefly. And of course, the big draw for fans was the return of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne/Batman, a role he would of course reprise in 2023's The Flash. The film was directed by Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. It was mainly filmed in Glasgow, which doubled as Gotham City. It was meant to be more grounded and grittier as a film than the more fantastical DCEU movies, which I think would certainly suit the Batman mythology more. But in August of 2022, the film was cancelled and became the biggest budget movie in Hollywood to ever be fully filmed and yet go unreleased. The film's test screenings were generally not great, with some reactions suggesting the film looked cheap by comparison to other big-budget DC projects. To be fair, the film was deliberately made on a smaller budget of $90 million. On August 4th of 2022, Screen Rant had the following article. Batgirl early test screening reactions revealed in more detail. Hollywood insider Matthew Bellany reveals more details about the poor reactions to DC's cancelled Batgirl movie from someone who attended a test screening. Warner Bros. Discovery sent shockwaves through Hollywood when they made the unprecedented decision to completely cancel the HBO Max release of Batgirl, which had a reported budget of $90 million and had already finished filming and was well into post-production. The article later says Warner Bros. Released a statement saying the decision was motivated by a strategic shift under new management CEO David Zaslav and had nothing to do with Grace's performance in the film or the skills of the directing duo behind the film, Adil El Arbi or Bilal Fallah. Further reports claimed the decision to scrap Batgirl was due to a refocus on theatrical releases, cost-cutting measures, and poor evaluations by test audiences. Later in the article, it makes mention of a discussion that Bellany had with someone who went to one of the test screenings. He says, this is someone who was in the test screening a couple of months ago where they were trying to figure out what to do with this movie, and I called him and we chatted. And he said that after the screening, the executives, Walter Hamada of DC and some of the others there, asked the audience, did this feel big? And clearly they were trying to figure out whether it felt like it deserved a theatrical release, and the consensus was absolutely not. He said it played like a TV pilot. The stakes were very small. He said it felt a little like Dark Phoenix. Yikes, that doesn't sound good. The general consensus seems to have been that the film wasn't bad. It just wasn't cinematic enough and big enough to warrant a significant cinema release, but that it also didn't suit being on a TV streaming service either. The article concludes by saying, after determining Batgirl was not worthy of a theatrical release through test audiences, Warner Bros. Discovery decided it was not suitable for HBO Max either, because its $90 million price tag was too expensive for streaming under Zaslav's new standards. Thus, the studio cancelled Batgirl in order to receive tax write-offs to help recoup the costs. So, I guess the film lies somewhere, right, in a Warner Brothers vault, perhaps, locked away forever, presumably. All we have to go on are some publicity stills and behind-the-scenes footage, which can be found online. Incidentally, this article is from Bounding Into Comics from February 7th, 2025, one day ago from the time of making this video. Set decorator claims Batgirl was literally completely finished and hopes the full film leaks one day. The latest person taking up Batgirl's cause is a person from the art department claiming the doomed film was actually done. It's insane that they scrapped it. It was literally completely finished, VFX and everything, said Annie Mitchell, I think it was just in the wrong place at the wrong time when the merger happened. Mitchell was reacting to behind-the-scenes production footage on TikTok when she decided to speak on the project's behalf. Her credit on the film includes set decoration that turned Glasgow, Scotland into Gotham City. She added, "I definitely believe it still exists though. Really hoping someone leaks it in 10 years, haha." While it's remotely possible Batgirl is on a hard drive somewhere in the Warner Brothers vault, chances are slim. After David Zaslav and Discovery took over ownership of the studio, they shelved it in 2022 along with Coyote vs. Acme and other productions for tax purposes. One stipulation of the tax write-off is they can never release or exhibit it, or else they'll pay $1 million penalty to get Batgirl back. That is assuming they could, let alone want to. Directors Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah tried to save some footage only to find it was all scrubbed from the cloud. DC Studios co-CEO Peter Safran was bold and emphatic in his assessment of it, saying, "That film was not releasable. I actually think that President and CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, and the team made a very bold and courageous decision to cancel it because it would have hurt DC. It would have hurt those people involved." Yeah, maybe the film wouldn't have been great. I guess we have to take their word for it. But I can't imagine it couldn't have been salvaged somewhat in the editing process. Heck, if Star Wars A New Hope was saved in editing and launched one of the biggest franchises of all time, why couldn't Batgirl at least be made passable? I think it would have been cool to see Michael Keaton play Batman one last time in a proper Batman environment of Gotham City rather than what we got with The Flash. Actually, I would love to speak to someone who's seen this film in the test screenings. I'd love their honest thoughts. Was it really as underwhelming as we were told? Was it releasable in some guise, even on direct DVD, Blu-ray, or should it have made it to streaming at least? I mean, this is going to be certainly a morbid curiosity for some fans for many years to come. And the longer it goes on, the longer it goes unreleased, the more people are going to wonder, right? I mean, it had a relatively big budget and it was cancelled, which made it unprecedented. I mean, good, bad, or meh, who wouldn't want to judge this film for themselves? I mean, aside from the small matter of the tax credit situation, which Warner could likely afford, why not release it if there was enough fan interest? I mean, that's how the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League was released, right? The longer Batgirl goes unreleased, the more some DC fans will wonder, speculate, and imagine what could have been and what might still be somewhere in a vault at Warner Brothers Studios. Maybe? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.